Hi there, Turgeon here, bringing you physics from afar. Let's talk about heat transfer, but in a different way. By what means? By all means. How does the heat get to you mechanically? Like, what is the mechanism? This is a picture of a space heater. Now, the space heater has what they're trying to depict as heat leaving, but a lot of these have a fan in them. Okay, so this is that type of space heater. There's a lot of different types. What we have is, you could, even if the fan stopped working, those hot coils would radiate heat out at you. You would just feel it if you put your hand up by it. And if somebody walks in front of your hand, all of a sudden, you wouldn't be able to feel it if something else, like even if it's just like a piece of paper, right? If a piece of paper blocks it, you suddenly wouldn't be able to feel it. If the hot air is blowing out, that's one way it can do it. If you touch the space heater, which is not recommended, you would also transfer heat that way. So there's three ways that heat can be transmitted. We call them conduction, convection, and radiation. So conduction, and you can pause this and rewind as you need it, but think about touching. Now you can write all these down, but basically conduction is through touching. Metals are really good conductors. Things like air and foam and other things, glass, those are good insulators. So they don't conduct heat very well. Remember, it's when objects are physically touching, so there's direct collisions between the molecules. Now, convection is when you have a fluid flowing. So think wind or fans. So if you have a convection oven or a convection setting on your oven, there's a fan that circulates the air inside. So we have literal movement of flowing particles. And now fluid could mean air or water. It could mean a liquid or a gas. Radiation is when we're literally sending out light waves many times that you cannot see. These don't even need a medium. These are electromagnetic waves. Luckily, they don't need a medium, because if they did, then we wouldn't get the radiation from the sun, radiation in a good way, that allows us to live and to thrive on the Earth. They can go through empty space. We call it the vacuum. Vacuum means without any air. You've also had the experience probably that darker colors absorb radiation better, so when something shines on a black surface, it literally transmits more heat than if it shines on a white surface. You probably read Russian if you know what I just said. So if you look at this one, you know that those are light rays. If someone were to just even slide a piece of paper between the hand and this, then the hand would feel much cooler. These light rays are radiation. If this is a metal handle, which some pots do have, then that would be conduction. You got to be careful how long you hold it, because you're touching. There's literal collisions between the molecules. Convection is when you have movement of the fluid. So what tends to happen is what we call a rolling boil, where the water is circulating. People think of convection currents or convection cycles. That's what we're talking about with convection cycle. This has been Turgeon, bringing you physics from afar. Now, at this point, for some of you, the video is over, but this might be a year where I assigned a very particular assignment. I want you to film a 10 or 20 second video. Find one example of one of these, might be assigned to you, where you show the example of heat transfer happening and you explain why it is what it is. So if I were near a campfire, I would show the campfire and I'd say, this is radiation, because I can feel the heat from this. It is radiating heat simply through light waves. And if if all of a sudden I put a new log on it, it actually blocks some of that heat before it starts to burn. Good luck on your assignment. This has really been Turgeon, bringing physics from afar.